Hi all, sorry can't be here and have a proper lesson today, but as I said, I am looking at new teachers, so I'm going to have to do it this way. So today is all about revision for your mock, okay? So what we've done in your mock and what we're allowed to say, we wrote it last week. There's going to be 3 sections. First section, 35 marks, component 1. To revise the mock, you need to know all the content that we've you covered last year. However, I will say it's very statistics heavy, and I mean very. So make sure you know everything, and hopefully you can also remember that there is a 15-mark question in component 1. So we're going to be doing something on that. Okay, component 2 will also be 35 marks, and it's going to be the section B stuff, so the stuff you've been doing with Claire this year. However, we will focus on the social, biological and developmental areas, and then the third section will be a mental health section. Okay, so that's what we're going to be telling all students. So that's what you need to be preparing for, really. So the idea of today's lesson is to help you in preparation for that. So the first thing is, in the mock there will be some multiple choice questions. You'll see I have a past paper questions file on our Teams page where all of them are on there. Okay, so you can look at those whenever you want to. But what I'd like you to do right now is to complete this multiple choice paper. It's the one from the recent one. So no one should have done that. So either scan the code or follow the link. So pause the video now and complete that. That will self-mark, and I'll be able to see your marks live. So get that done now, please. Thank you. The next part is the 15-mark question. Okay. Also, I didn't teach you last year, so I don't know how much of these you did or not. But this is an example of what a 15-mark question looks like. So you get a brief outline of a scenario here. And remember, it says justify your decisions, and you get 4 bullet points. Okay, and you have to just answer in 4 paragraphs those things. But there is a real precise technique to this. Okay, so you can pause this if you want to help you. But basically, for each of the 4 points, okay, you have to do 4 things. So you have to describe in detail how you're going to do something, and I mean in detail, standardized, completely replicable. Okay, good chunk of work. Then you have to evaluate why you've used this. So what's good about it, what's bad about another option. You've got to obviously do that in context of the study you've done, but also this point 4 is you have to say about how research that you have conducted previously has informed your decision of what you're doing. I'm going to be honest with you guys, you can lie and make it up if you want, but you've got to say something real. So the example there is, when I did a repeated measures design for a memory experiment in the first year, one of my participants, I see the difference this time, I get it now, and you could then say, well, because of that I notice order effects, so therefore I would rather use independent measures design. So something like that. So for each of those 4 bullet points, you just do steps 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and just so important. If you follow that structure with the context, you're going to get all the marks. Okay, if you miss anything off, you just lose marks all the time. However, to do that, sometimes it's nice to do point 1 and think about and plan actually how you're going to go and do the study. Okay, so you're going to love this. What I'd like you to do right now is, using this event sample here, okay, so make it yourself. I want you to go up and down your street or your village, wherever you live, okay, and see how Christmassy it is. Okay, I don't care if it's raining. I hope it is. I don't really. I do. So I want you to go out and do that. Okay, and then I want you to try and write a paragraph about the use of event sampling. Okay, so using the structure that I just went through, okay, tell me how you did it, everything, tell me why you did it, justify it, all that kind of stuff. Do that, either type it up and send me a picture, or take a picture and send it to me so I can check through that you used the right structure, because it's really important. Okay, cool, so pause me and do that. The next thing, obviously, I've said there's loads of stats, so the only thing you can do here is do your blue SAF meds, look at the past papers as well, but your blue SAF meds are really important. So at this point, I'd like you to stop me and do 5 goes of the blue SAF meds, and if you've got time, do 5 more of the others. Okay. So for component 2, as we kind of said, we're going to do like a section B, and this is the spec. Okay, so we're kind of looking at this top half here, and as you can see, there are 6 things that you need to know. Okay, so you've got to make sure you have notes on the 6 things for all the areas, but obviously for your mock, we're concentrating on just 3 of them. Okay, so I would make sure you can do these 4 things and have revision notes. Okay, so you must have your 2 key principles. You must know 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses of every area. You must be able to say how studies link to the area, and you must be able to summarize studies short in kind of very short kind of form. Okay, so that's what I would make sure you can do for your mock. But also these questions, exam technique is important, so you need to learn that. On this slide is kind of all the different types of questions you are likely to get, and kind of the marks that can change, but there's very much a step-by-step kind of procedure, so you need to learn that as well, because obviously if you do that, you're going to get more marks. So that's how you can practice doing exam questions for that. So you can do that, but what I'd like you to do now is complete this revision grid. I think this will be really useful for you, especially on compare questions and evaluate questions. Okay, so try and make this grid and fill in like a sentence, like answer the question, is it like scientific, yes or no, or both, and then just prove to me why with some research from the core studies that are linked to that area. Okay, so can you do that now and pause me? And lastly, we've got kind of the mental health section. This is the spec, we've just completed it. Okay, so again, it's making sure you've got notes and revising it all this time, not just points 1 and 2 or 3. Okay, I think the most important thing is to kind of make sure you revise it all, like I just said, but kind of do the practice questions. And I think what will kind of hold you in stead is to redo any question you didn't get full marks on our end of unit test. I think that'll be super helpful. Okay, so you can do that at your leisure. And then the last thing is planning your time. We talked about making sure you do enough. So I think you need to be doing like 5-6 hours of revision a week for your mock for each of your subjects. Okay, so on our Teams page, I have kind of week by week, like a day by day week schedule where you can block in when your lessons are and your travel time to college, and when you go to the gym, when you go and play that, do this, when you go to work. And then I want you to plan in when you're going to do chunks of revision for psychology each week, because obviously we're on a 2-week kind of rota, so you need to kind of produce 2 of them, and you need to stick to them. Plan what you're going to do in each session. So the first session, I'm going to look at how to do the stats tests and go through all of them again. The second session, I'm going to go through the social area. Okay, so that gives you, if you don't do anything over Christmas, that'll give you like 24 hours of revision, which is a good start for the mock. But obviously if you do stuff over Christmas, that's even more. Okay, so that's what I'd like you to do. Okay, but that's kind of a time thing that you need a bit of thought. Hi, and lastly, I know we've got a lesson online next week, but obviously it's quite hard to do anything fun online and stuff, so I have got a Christmas Kahoot for you if you want to do it at any time. Feel free to use it with family. There's only a little bit of psychology on there. Okay, so kind of do that if you kind of want to. Okay, so I will see you online on Monday morning. Okay, remember we've got the time question, so revise for that. And then I'll waffle some stuff about crime prevention, and then give you some work to do to complete for the rest of the session that you can then kind of upload and everything like that. Okay, so I will see you Monday morning. Have fun. Bye.